Okay, we have to redeem Eric about something we just said about Britney Spears not being a fembot in Austin Powers. I was thinking the first Austin Powers, but Eric,
it was
you are
Goldmember.
correct.
I folded like a chair with you guys. When you guys
Sorry.
When you guys came at me, I'm like, I guess I was wrong.
Yeah,
I didn't stand up for myself. I'm so disappointed.
I thought it was like a Britney video that she did a parody
one, she dressed up in that
like
airline outfit.
She had that flight attendant outfit on.
So then I was getting that mixed up, and I'm like, I could have swore she had machine guns come out of her boobs.
And it was Austin Powers Goldmember with Beyonce. That one is where she's the fembot that would not seduce Austin
Was
Powers.
Beyonce in Goldmember, or was it the second one?
Yeah, she was Foxy Cleopatra.
That's the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What was the third one?
The one with Fat Bastard? The same one.
Fat Bastard got skinny in the last one.
I think I can't remember what the third one was.
There's three of them.
I don't know. They were unnecessary but funny, but unnecessary.
I loved them.
I did too. One of my favorites.
Oh, here we go.
It's time to get serious, guys. Again.
Should you date or ditch, or are you the bitch? Time to decide. You can confide with the Roula and Ride show.
And what's the most important word that needs repetition? Here it is.
Show.
Not Roula and Ryan, the show.
Show. Date or ditch, my friends. Go to 713-278-VENT. That's 8368 on your phone. And that is the listener line.
Yep.
Where people will call us with scenarios of that they've come across in their new relationship with someone.
We check every single one on the listener line. So you ready?
And they don't know whether to get in and stay in or get out. Here's this one. Let's find out.
So I have a date or ditch for you guys. I've been dating this guy for about 8 months, and he's a really great guy. He's really good to me and my 4 kids, which is a big ask as it is. The problem is that he's really extremely insecure, down to what I wear, how I interact with people. It's almost borderline controlling. So I'm really conflicted on if I should keep dating him or if I should ditch him.
Ooh,
I said, if you already know it's borderline controlling,
that's not
that's
good.
the phrase that I'm going to tell you, ditch.
Do you want that as an example for your kids?
Forget that.
Does he know he's doing it, though?
She's under his thumb.
But if she stands up to him and just say,
just that one time.
And just
so I wish she had expanded more, like, is he trying to say, no, you can't wear that outfit, that looks too slutty?
I never understood when guys do that, like, oh, but you're showing too much cleavage or doing this. It's like,
she chose you.
Her body.
She chose you. She's with you. Just because she's wanting to dress sexy does not mean she's cheating.
I'm the opposite. I'm like, honey,
let those things breathe.
Let's let other people enjoy what I get to see.
Are you offended?
Oh my gosh,
Are you
Eric.
offended, though, Eric, when other men look at your wife? Or do you think, like, well, I'm the lucky one that gets to go home with her?
I'm not offended. I mean, if they go over there and like try and motorboat or something.
No,
yeah,
oh my gosh.
Then I'll be mad.
It's all based on respect.
I mean, if somebody's...
But you've never told her and said, hey, you can't wear that.
No, I would never do that.
The fact that this girl said he's borderline controlling, that's her true feeling about him.
Ditch.
Yeah.
I say ditch.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Here's the problem.
Kevin,
if you listen carefully, she said, he's really good to me and my 4 kids. I don't want her to compromise herself because she's found a guy who can, quote, tolerate 4 children. What do we always say about the woman in the park holding the baby versus the man in the park holding the baby? The man in the park holding the baby, all the women are like, oh my God, that's so sweet. No man is looking at a woman holding a baby saying, gosh, I got to have some of that.
But if he does love the kids, maybe some guys want to take control of things.
Some guys
you
are
like to
old
take
school.
control. You're old school. You like to pay for everything and do things. You like to take control.
But I'm not going to tell her what she can and can't wear.
But maybe you did it one time.
Can we hear that call one more time for those just tuning in? Here's the date or ditch question.
So I have a date or ditch for you guys. I've been dating this guy for about 8 months, and he's a really great guy. He's really good to me and my 4 kids, which is a big ask as it is. The problem is that he's really extremely insecure, down to what I wear, how I interact with people. It's almost borderline controlling. So I'm really conflicted on if I should keep dating him or if I should ditch him.
First of all, insecurity is a very ugly trait. I mean...
She said borderline, like...
Borderline controlling.
It's like, it says to me
You're
like
really going to wear that tonight? Like, really?
But she also mentioned who I talk to. If he's trying to say, no, you can't talk to other men.
Here's
but
a
did
very
she say that?
a good
She just
text.
said insecure.
No, but she said borderline
talking about-
controlling is the problem.
And about who
because
I talk to.
She's already coming to our show because she's already on the fence. She said borderline controlling, which is very telling because that really means she means more than that, but she just wanted to say borderline controlling. That means she thinks he's controlling.
Yeah.
And this texter says, he's good to y'all to get you under control. And then when you are locked in, hold on, you guys text
Yeah.
he could potentially turn and go full crazy abusive. I'd personally get out, especially because you need to protect your kids.
I agree with that.
I'm saying ditch.
I'll go with that then.
I'm saying ditch.
I
So
just
we're all
feel
saying ditch.
Because
like
it seems like he has issues inside that he may not fix.
I went to my hairdresser yesterday, and I felt bad. She was just not in the best mood. Her boyfriend of 3 years that lived with her, she has a daughter. He dumped her. He said, I can't do this anymore.
Ooh, and you still let her cut your hair?
I know. I was thinking, well, it was 3 weeks
Well, she
ago.
needs money.
It was 3 weeks ago.
Why is he going to walk away? That's,
But I mean,
Yeah,
we
if
were
it
just
happened
talking.
last night, I'd be like,
No, I felt
let's
bad.
reschedule.
But I'm just saying, she has a little kid that, think about it, if you're first grade, how old's a kid?
5 turning 6.
So 3 years living together, it's like a dad.
Oh, for
you know,
sure.
A father figure. And he just said, I can't do this anymore. I can't be a father type thing.
No, that's wrong. You shouldn't have gotten involved in the first place.
So it is hard, like you were saying about her to find a good guy with 4 kids or whatever.
right.
She
Yeah.
put the
Don't
kids-
settle.
No, but still.
Just because he
But he could be really great at what if he's really great at other things and just
No,
he
all
does
these people
wear
are
the
saying
clothes.
ditch,
Yeah.
ditch, psycho. He's not going
sounds
to change.
bad.
Girl
He's not
run.
gonna change.
They don't change.
He's
They
only gonna
ditch
get
him.
worse.
Run
Right.
then.
We're all saying
Insecurity,
run.
huge red flag.
Do you want to hear another one here real quick? This is
It's
kinda
short?
funny.
We don't have a lot
Yeah,
of time.
it is. I think we're all going to know what the answer is.
I started dating this woman, man, she's a smoke show. I mean, she is easily, by far, the hottest woman I've ever been with, the hottest woman that's ever let me talk to her, much less be with her. The sex is amazing, everything's great. The problem that I'm finding myself into is, like, she's, like, kind of shallow. Everything we do, like, every time we go on a date, it's for the gram. Everything is for social media. Everything is taking pictures of her food. And everything is a story. It's an Instagram story, is a TikTok. Everything is just made for reels. I've become, her personal photographer. Just, look at me, take a picture of me holding my purse outside the restaurant and all this stuff. And when it's just me and her, it's great. Like, when we're at home by ourselves, it's fine. But then when she gets around people, even if it's people she doesn't know, she's a different person. And it just feels like she's a fake. I'm in a weird place where I don't know what to do because she's such a smoke show. And again, when I'm with her by herself, she's awesome. Never thought I would ask what to do about a smoke show that's great sex and what to do.
Gosh.
I never thought I would ask that question.
Today's
but
phrase
here
on the
you
Roula
are.
and Ryan show, smoke show.
She's having
Yeah.
she's hot. I'm having sex with her.
Okay,
Smoke
so
show.
she's a smoke show
but
who's all
she's
about her
fake.
social media when they're out in public, but when they're at home, he likes at-home girlfriend
It's
more than out in
2024.
public girlfriend.
That's what everyone does nowadays.
I don't know.
but
That's
if
a hard
it's too
habit
much
to break.
and it feels
That's too
fake,
much.
if
Yeah.
you're not
You say
locked
too
in-
much, Kevin? You say ditch?
Yeah,
But that's what
I'm-
people in their 20s do.
I don't know. That's,
I don't know
that's
if they're in their
annoying as
20s.
hell. I'm like, just here. You do
Can
your
we
own
eat
pictures.
the food instead of photograph it?
It's fine.
Or like, are you paying attention to this conversation, or is your
Well,
head?
maybe
in
that's
the
how she
phone?
makes her income. Maybe she
Yeah, she's
is
hot.
like
She's a
an
smoke show.
influencer and she needs to make her
think
money
she
that
would've
way.
become
so
one.
she's
made that
gonna post
clear in
that.
the
I think he
call.
would have said that, Sam. He would have said she
Maybe
makes her
it's-
money off this.
Inspiration.
Remember those girls that were at the
To
Astros
become
game,
one.
or was it the Astros game or some baseball game where they were doing all these selfies and they got slammed
Oh, yeah.
because like, these girls are, and then the people slamming her got slammed for talking
Being
about,
rude.
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that it is the culture thing. But here's for him, I don't know what to tell him. He likes her so much physically.
He's just
I don't know
happy
what to
that he's
tell him.
with a, quote, smoke
How
show.
would she if she heard that, how would she feel knowing that you just care about her being hot?
Right. That's a good point.
She
Eric.
should ditch you.
Because I
Well,
can't
I'm
believe
just
she's talking to me,
You're
let
only
alone
with me 'cause
letting
I'm
me
a
be with her.
smoke show.
That's your worst thing to take a photo of her with her purse at a nice restaurant. A lot
But
of
I
people
think
do
he's
that.
saying
They
a
build
lot.
things. They build those
Yeah,
ivy
archways
Instagram
so you can take your picture.
Absolutely.
But still, there's a gray area where it
Yeah.
can become a little much.
Where the whole date,
Like,
that's all she's doing.
Tell her.
We barely got to the restaurant, and you're already on your 7th reel. You know,
Yeah.
We're driving to the restaurant and then gallery.
Oh, don't you hate that when you see stories and you see those little lines? And
Yes.
If I see
so annoying.
I just swipe skip.
Yep.
I'm like, I don't have time
I'm
for
not
those
invested
dots.
in that.
I
So,
think 3 or 4 is
date or
good average.
ditch?
I say date.
Ditch.
I say date a little longer, and if
Date,
you really
have
can't take
fun.
it, then ditch.
Yeah, dude, come on, it's a smoke show.
Yeah.
Smoke show.
show.
All right, coming up next, there is a listener line call that is so scandalosa that we really weren't sure if we could play it or not. It's one of the most shocking calls we've gotten because I could never fathom that this would happen during sexy time.
That's why we're playing this at 8:20 because
Put your earmuffs on, kids.
hopefully kids are in school or they're sleeping in now if they're done.
I mean, there is a cable show called The Action Sent You to the ER.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I don't watch that show. Maybe it's happened on that show, but I can't believe this call. You got to hear it next on the Roula and Ryan Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to check in with Roula and Ryan's listener line.
You have 912 messages.
Ew. Screw you, clown.
You are a know-it-all, know-nothing. Really?
105.9 104.1 KRP.
I feel like it's Friday. We're acting all silly up in here.
It just feels good. Kevin got his power back.
Yeah.
How many people are out of power now? Is it down to like 20?
What's the number? 50,000?
No, it's less
40
than
yesterday.
that. They say right now, if you're without power, you might want to check. It could be a problem on your end, like your equipment is damaged. Remember we did that story earlier in the week, how you have to check
your
weatherhead?
Yeah.
Yes. So
And what's the weatherhead thing again?
on,
That thing that sticks out of your roof that I haven't seen?
A lot of us have a pipe that shoots out of the top of our house called a weatherhead, and that's where the CenterPoint Energy connects their line to your house. And a lot of us, like me, had it rip out of the house. And sometimes if it ripped out of the house too hard, it'll snap that weatherhead, and that is your responsibility. The power company only takes the wires to the head, and then from the head down is you.
It's all you.
You have to hire a qualified electrician, is what they're saying.
Yes, a qualified electrician, not some guy that's good with crossing
my cousin
wires.
Bob knows how to hook up a few wires.
I know, guy.
It's not
I
gonna
know,
work.
guy. So the listener line gets lots of calls for many different reasons. People listen to us throughout the day on podcast. People just know our show and they know they can come to us with any kind of quandary they have, and we can put it on the air and talk about it. 713-278-VENT is the number, and we got a
Let's
call.
just go ahead and hit this.
Due to the graphic nature of this program, discretion is advised.
We'll just let the call speak
This
for
is like
itself.
a Believe It or Not.
Yeah, it really is. Here it is.
My grandmother told me a story with her first husband. He was cheating on her in a cheap motel room, and she went and she knew the people that owned the motel, so she had them open the door, and she caught her husband in the act, and it caused the female that he was with to have a heart attack. Like, she full on just had a heart attack. And they had to go to the hospital with her still connected to him, because I guess when your body's going through like trauma or something, she clamped down on him. And my grandmother stood there beside her man getting a woman removed from him. But my grandma stood by her man's side so that she could get the paperwork for the hospital to claim adultery to get all his money.
So it must not have been in Texas, because Texas is no fault state.
Oh, my gosh. I like how you just keep pointing that out, Ryan. How do you know that?
Because he looks up he gets all his information, I
How
guess.
do you know? Every time
Texas is a no fault state.
It doesn't matter. That's not the point of the call. The point of the call is there's a woman who clamped down on the man because she had a heart attack while he was having an affair.
By the way, she did survive. The woman survived.
Clamped down.
Yes.
And so the wife had to assist her husband to get a woman removed from
But
it.
if you put the paddles on someone who's connected to you.
Yeah, what happens
Are you
there?
shocking him too?
No.
That's a good question.
Shocked by connection?
Yeah, because they say clear.
They just
clear.
sure enough do.
Somebody in the medical field has got to give us the answer on that.
Did they separate him before they shocked her heart back?
37530.
By that time, it might be too late.
Yeah,
But you said that it said that she was right next to him.
Yeah.
Well, the wife, think about it.
The wife was there to support him.
Think the ambulance has the lady on the gurney with the husband connected to her, and the wife
But
is
I'm saying
walking
if-
beside.
If he, yeah.
Yeah, the wife is walking
But
beside.
he wasn't injured.
No,
but can you just see them both on the gurney but getting taken out?
What is he
gosh.
saying? It's not what you think.
Yeah, there's no. It wasn't me on that one.
I fell.
It's
and
definitely
it
you.
just happened to be that way.
Because I watched a movie when I was a kid. It was called American Ninja, I think. And the ninjas, they snuck up on these people in the hot tub and had a dart in the guy's neck.
Poison dope
killed him.
dart.
But so she was still alive, but she still had that guy next to him.
Oh, whoa.
And
dead.
For hours.
Oh my God!
I remember
Lord.
that. I was like 10 years old watching that. Back in the mid 80s, they had a lot of ninja movies.
Yeah,
They did.
A lot
I
of
was
Chinese
saying,
stars flying.
So many
I was
Chinese
one of the
stars
flying
were
stars.
flying through the scenes of action movies in the 80s. That's how I knew what that was. When we started the Roula and Ryan show, there was a little boy who called our show that made us laugh so hard because we asked the question, who would win in a fight, a pirate or a ninja? And his answer was like, ninja.
You gotta
and
go
we
with
said,
the
why is
ninja.
that? And he's like, because something the way he
It was
said
a
it made us laugh
butt-kicking-
so
was it-
hard. Something like the butt-kicking machine.
Yeah, something.
Because a ninja is a butt-kicking machine
ninja,
or something
sure.
like that.
They got more like because they got swords, they've got stars,
They
they've
know
got
how to fight.
everything.
We haven't
Pirates
done a bargain in a long
pirate
time.
quite
Eric. We
often
got to bring
only
those
had-
back.
Only had one leg.
It was a bargament, Sam. We used to do barguments. Arguments you have in bars. Who would win in a fight? A silverback gorilla or a tiger?
Ooh.
Like we did that once. That was
Yeah.
our second bargament ever. The first one was the pirate and ninja.
Did you think a gorilla?
I would think the silverback would probably be able to take down.
The answer was the silverback. For many people
they're
listening, they said
they're
for sure the
global.
silverback gorilla is going to win that fight.
Remember on Fox, they had humans versus animals?
No,
And they had people.
that was a Fox TV show.
They had people race. They had a guy trying to eat, like a competitive eater, take on a bear to eat some food.
Ew.
Look it up.
I do remember the race.
And then they had the
thing.
guy
That kinda
race
rings a bell.
a cheetah, I think. I can't remember.
You can't race a cheetah. Cheetah can go like 70 miles
Look
an
it
hour.
up. I just remember this was big. It was called Humans versus Animals on Fox.
I do remember
Like
something
in
about
2006 or 7.
Well, they did on Shark Week a few years ago. They did a simulation of Michael Phelps versus the shark, like who's faster.
Oh my god!
Yeah, see?
So they had Michael Phelps swim, and they did the shark
find
swim
something.
in a controlled environment or whatever the
anything,
pacing
Sam?
of the shark.
While you're looking for that one,
Man versus Beast.
Yeah, I mean, that's it,
Man versus Beast.
On Fox, what year, Sam?
2003.
Wow.
Oh wow!
Man
21
versus
years ago.
Did it say what the events were?
It only came up on Wikipedia.
While you
So
look
you
at
don't
the
have
rest
the
of
video.
those, we asked the question about getting shocked while I connected to somebody. And at 37530, the person says, you will get shocked too if you are connected to someone who is defibrillated.
Yes.
But a heart attack does not always require defibrillation. One person says you will only shock whenever the patient is in VT. I don't know what that means. Typically, with a heart attack, you have an occluded artery. Heart attack does not mean cardiac arrest, so they may have still been awake, not needing the shock.
They could have just been doing chest compressions.
Remember the guy that ate hot dogs from
Joey Chestnut?
No, the other Kobayashi, or how do you say his
Okay.
Kobayashi. I think he's retired this week. He's the one who invented the dipping the hot dogs in the water.
Oh.
Make them go down faster because the water, the bread.
He got beat by a Kodiak bear eating hot dogs.
Well, I would
I would
guess.
think
This is
so.
so-
And then a Navy
dumb.
SEAL won a race against a chimpanzee through an obstacle course.
The Navy SEAL beat the chimp?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought for a second there, I
What
thought
else?
Navy
shot, and I
SEAL
thought
beat
cheetah.
the chimp. That's
Okay.
it.
How
Sumo
about the
wrestler
cheetah?
had a tug of war against a orangutan, and the orangutan won.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
What was
What else?
the
A
cheetah
sprinter,
running?
Sean Crawford, a world-class sprinter, beat a giraffe, but lost to a zebra.
Oh wow!
So they must have all lined him up. They put him they have like a partition.
Tracks.
What was that movie?
Yeah,
It's
and
called
kids-
it's called Racing Stripes, where the girl raced a zebra against horses.
And
I know
then
that
this
one.
one, I don't remember this. A group of 44 dwarfs lost a race against an Asian elephant to see who could pull a DC-10 jet to a certain distance.
So the elephant pulled the jet, not the 40.
I don't know why it
For
had to be
little
dwarfs.
people.
Okay, I
don't know,
want somebody from the
44
zoo to
little
text
people.
me. If you know somebody who works at the zoo or if the zoo's listening, 37530.
Can we take on an animal?
Do they still race the cheetahs off of 288 at the soccer fields for the Dynamo?
yeah.
Because I did a thing with the Dash one year for ABC 13 with Alita Loresca. We went out to that soccer field on 288 to do some, Dash training.
Learn how to do some
And
tricks.
when we were there, when we finished, they go, you'll have to clear the area because the cheetahs are coming to run their stride. And they put
my gosh.
raw meat at the end of the field. And they have the cheetahs go back and forth, and that's how they control the
Did they have
cheetahs
anybody
not going rogue.
Like a dart gun nearby, just in
I
case?
Trank
did.
one.
I wasn't there
Trank gun.
for it because I had to leave. Because they told me that's what's happening. Like I wasn't. I don't think I was allowed to stay and watch it. But like, yeah, we run the cheetahs to
Let's
get
have a
their
tug of war,
stride.
all of us, against something.
Against what?
Against what?
Like a chimpanzee or something, orangutan.
5 of us against it.
We'll get them out
I
of
don't
there.
think the zoo is going to be happy to donate an animal for that.
There's got to be something we can
And we
do.
would
I
have
could
to go
find
there.
I could find a friendly bear at the Eagle in Montrose.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Not your
buy him a
kind
few
of bear.
shots first.
You buy him a few shots. Kevin, you actually had a list line call. Somebody is not happy with you.
Hey, this message is for Special K. You use this word all the time. You say salty. I'm assuming SALDY. I know a few years ago you said, that's how it's supposed to be. And it's just bothered me ever since. And I've looked it up, several times, and it's not a word, man. I mean, it's not a word in Urban Dictionary. It's just not a word. It's salty. SALTY. That's the slang word for someone who's being salty. It's not salty. Stop saying salty. Oh, he's so salty. He's so salty. Man, bro, nobody's salty. Just stop. Salty.
Page 4 of Urban Dictionary. Salty is right there.
I see it right there.
It means upset or PO'd. And if you have ever been in the Delaware Valley, then you get salty about something. And people know exactly what to say. Salty.
Delaware.
And you gotta say Delaware like you're either like chewing gum or
But
drunk.
you're not in Delaware. You're in Houston,
Delaware.
Texas.
Somebody got mad this
say
week
words the way
at
you
Sam
say it.
because she says, ooh, ew.
Ew.
This person went off on you,
Oh, they left a listener line?
and she had a really good
No.
voice. But I was like, it's too mean to play.
It was too mean.
Thank you so
I
much
don't
for
know if you
not
could
playing
handle
it.
it.
Come
Like
on.
Kevin could handle it.
Right.
I just, but I'm like, damn.
Snowflake over there can't.
That's a whole skit with Jimmy Fallon.
I wish we could play.
Eric, there was somebody who went after you.
Because I got attacked, and I don't mind. You can play mine all day. I don't care. I
Thanks
love
for
it.
not playing that.
Eric, let me
preface this by saying I love you. But you were just talking about the movie with Benjamin Bratt and Brooke Shields and how you were distracted by her face.
Oh, yeah.
But did anybody decide to bring up that Benjamin Bratt looks old as well? Like, Eric is always so critical of women and how they look. But what about her co-star? Like, he's all raggedy looking now. He's still hot, but why are you so critical about women who don't look like they did when they did their first ad at 12? You tend to lean towards being critical of women, but not of the men. But I still love you, Eric.
And that one, no, it was about because
Benjamin Bratt is
the first
shocking in
10.
that.
If you watch that movie, was it called Mother of the Bride?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
something like that.
So
Paint by numbers. I mean, it's
The first
pretty
10
predictable.
minutes, it takes you a while to because you're so used to seeing her in Desperately Seeking Susan, or what was that
Yes.
movie? Suddenly Susan.
Suddenly Susan
On
was
That
a
was like
TV
20
show.
years ago.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a screwy
She's
thing.
not
because
been
When you're
on
watching a
television.
repeat of Friends, it's on 17 times a
Friends.
day, where she was in love with Joey as Dr. Draco
And it's not
Moray.
fair because if you live with that person, you
See him gradually age.
But when we don't see them, and then you see them, Benjamin, what's his name?
Bratt.
Yeah, he looked kind of like
He went gray.
his body though. You could tell
Still.
he knew he'd be naked in this movie a lot. So he's like,
He worked out.
yeah, he looked good, but his face was pulled too. But that's Hollywood. But I'm just saying, it's not fair because when you see these people, we're used to seeing them when they're 22.
I think
And we
also
don't look like what we did when we were
Right.
22.
Brooke Shields
Speak
did
for
not
yourself.
do all the facelift type stuff. Like so many Hollywood stars, they Botox, they filler,
Her
they
eyes-
get their
she
face
looked different
pulled.
though. Her face looked like she tried to get work done.
You think?
That's what I'm saying. It looked like it was just.
Thought she aged naturally.
You thought that was natural?
Yeah.
Nothing's natural in
Watch
Hollywood.
that again.
to her
That's
enough.
what I'm saying. Something looked like she tried to. It looked more like she should have been on
Botched?
or something.
Oh, here we
maybe
go
she
again.
had
Eric.
Oh my gosh! You're just
I don't
digging
think it was
yourself a
that
hole.
bad. I saw the Netflix
Brooke, Eric
preview.
thinks you should be on botch.
It just takes you out of it for 10 minutes.
Jeez.
It's like any movie when you see a celebrity that you've known.
Okay, I'll tell you who I will say I relate to that with. There was a 25th anniversary reunion of Julia Roberts, Dermot Mulroney, and Rupert Everett for my best friend's wedding, and Rupert Everett is shockingly unrecognizable.
I think he died. That's just someone pretending
He
to
is
be him.
unrecognizable.
See that?
Rupert Everett was the hottest thing ever when that movie came out. Everyone was obsessed with him. Straight women were wishing he was straight. They're like, please can I flip you? Please can I turn you? He was so smoking hot. I do not recognize the man that is today. From
In a
the
good
work
or
he
bad
did.
way. Like a
Just different.
It's just he totally changed his face, Ryan. Like you are.
Oh, he did surgery?
Double questioning your own self. Like you're doing double takes. Like I don't. That's not Rupert Everett. How's that? That doesn't even look like anything like him.
Yeah, it's weird because he was in a movie where I'm like, that's him?
Look him up.
Have you seen The Rock? In his upcoming movie, they've completely changed his face. Does not look like The Rock
It's called
at all.
Face Off. That's why that movie.
It's a smashing machine.
And
Smashing Machine.
UFC.
It does not look like him.
Ryan, let me ask you: when you leave town, do you change the way you talk? Like, do you not say y'all anymore? Like, if you go to like Cancun or if you go to like Williamsport, you don't say y'all.
I hold back the y'alls when I'm there because I get heckled too much by it.
I don't believe you. No one goes and changes the way you're talking just because you like move into a place. Oh, yeah, I'm going to change my whole dialect and
Well,
everything.
Madonna
like that.
did. She went to England for 2 years, and all of a sudden she's talking like
Honey,
this.
I was in Australia 6 weeks. I was talking like Australians. 2 years, I'm Australian.
Kevin's never.
Madonna's going to be a British girl after 2 years in London.
I think if you live somewhere probably in your childhood long enough to develop your language skills, then it's harder to shake it.
I think once you're like 14, they say.
Like Niggy, you can still have
Hear an accent in
Niggy
her.
has a tad of an accent, but
her
she moved here.
sister's definitely
really has an accent.
She was like 14 or 15. My
Right.
wife was like 11 or 10.
You just get established in this way that you talk. And
Right.
But she
I
says
don't-
water.
Not water.
Wooder. Okay, we're running late. So coming up next, if you thought that terrible, crazy red massacre portrait of King Charles was terrible,
Yeah, that was weird.
wait till you hear what they did to Kate Middleton. My goodness. We'll talk about this next on the Roula and Ryan Show.
Keep your radio right here.
Time for your daily scoop. Roula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop.
On KRBE.
I'm going to give y'all some Google image homework because the people in the room can see my computer screen. When I tell you to come over to look at it, I want y'all to look at it. But the cover of Tatler magazine in England just revealed on Wednesday a portrait of Kate Middleton that was painted by the British, don't look at Ryan, by the British Zambian artist Hannah Uzor. And people are turned upside down. Like, what is wrong with these artists that are doing portraits? If
Are they
you've
bored?
probably seen on your Instagram or your TikTok the Prince Charles or the King Charles
The King
red
Charles one looks
murder
like he's
thing
standing in flames
for
of hell.
Ghostbusters 2 fans. He's like the Carthaginian dictator that Vigo.
Oh.
So everybody look at it now.
My.
That is not Kate Middleton at all.
That's an Asian person.
That looks like an elder Asian woman who is standing there with her hands folded in a dress that Kate Middleton might be wearing one day.
Does not look like her at all.
Strange.
Not at all.
No,
and
not
people
one bit.
are up in arms because they're like, what is happening?
That's not her.
I mean, I think
It
that's
is her.
better. I think that's better than Prince Charles.
The red one, that one.
Oh, that was
The red one is terrifying.
with his face just like
artist
glowing.
Yeah, it's like
so odd.
it's like a floating head in the middle of a
And then his hand.
sea
red sea of
blood.
hell.
So Kate Middleton did not actually sit to pose for this artist's portrait.
Obviously.
This person
stand-in
sifted through thousands of photos to capture her likeness. Spent
photos
lots
of
of
who?
time looking at
Not
her, looking at her pictures, watching videos of her, seeing her with her family, seeing her in diplomatic visits, when she's visiting kids in hospice, and that's where this artist took the visual
inspiration
and
from?
inspiration to paint her, but
That's
it
a
does
painting,
not
though?
look like her at
looks
all.
like a
It is a
photograph.
painting. It is a painting
Oh, wow.
of Kate Middleton, and everyone's like, "Who's that lady?"
It looks like a photograph of a different woman.
I never heard of the tater. What's it called?
Tatler. Tis a British.
Fun. Tatler.
Tatler.
How about
It says
tater?
Tater because her head is over the L on the cover.
That's a magazine in
So
Idaho.
he's just reading
Tater
Tater.
Tot.
Yeah, the tater.
The Daily Tater.
Just reading
God, you
Tater.
get my potato made it. Centerfold. Look at that. Look at those puds.
Look at the eyes.
Yes, but okay. By the way, we were talking about accents on people and how some people can
Develop
do an
an
accent
accent.
or not. Because Kevin said, how do you say it in Delaware? The word that you were saying?
Salty.
No,
Water.
no.
During.
During.
You just can't
Oh no,
shake
Delaware. When you were saying
the
Delaware,
accent
I said
you
you
were-
sound like you're chewing gum or you're
Delaware.
drunk. Delaware.
The accent that you grew
Delaware.
up with, you can't shake
Delaware.
it.
But you can absolutely just kind of absorb the vernacular and all that of another country, because I mentioned a couple days ago when I was watching Bridgerton, like, why am I using the word perhaps? Or they say, allow me to introduce you. Allow me the pleasure to introduce to you. I'm like, why allow you? Why don't you just say, hi, I'd like for you to meet Eric.
Yeah, why do I have to allow?
Allow me, Sam, to introduce you to Eric. Perhaps
You kind of pick
the
up
two
on
of you might have a lemonade.
I guess
the vernacular of the area that you're
Word filler back then.
surrounded by.
And somebody texted, going to London for 2 weeks and everything is all of a sudden going to be just lovely. When my family from England comes over here, I start talking just like them, but with a Texas accent. So we just kind of morph into whatever we're hearing the most.
Yeah.
And so this is what this means now. The entire Roula and Ryan show has to have a trip fronted by our company to do this real life experiment where we will broadcast live from England for 2 weeks with our families.
Yes.
And then we'll see as we broadcast back to Houston if we start saying
Let's do
things
that.
like
and
that.
while we're there, we'll have a tug of war with a orangutan. We'll do my man versus beast bit.
A British orangutan.
Yeah, they proper.
Time for KRBE's Roula and Ryan Show. What's going down in H-Town?
Cheerio. Pride Houston has announced R&B and country singer Kay Michelle and American Idol star David Archuleta as the entertainment for this year's festival. Billed as a celebration of diversity, resilience, and artistic brilliance, the 46th annual parade and festival happens June 29th at City Hall in downtown Houston.
And New Faces of Pride has also announced their lineup as well. And Sam and I will be hosting main stage for the festival for the first Pride. Now, there will be 2 Prides this year.
parades.
We have outgrown the million people have made it down there.
So back-to-back
past years.
weekends.
Yeah, so we'll do the 22nd and 29th. So Sam and I are hosting the first one, and Ahmad will be hosting the second one. Ahmad doing big things, so look for Ahmad on the 29th on stage.
Host gay pride party. Where's his Burger
his
King
song?
song for that?
Right.
Ahmad's gonna host.
I'm sure you will have one.
It's funny.
But
probably make one.
The one that Sam and I are hosting, it's the Rainbow Revolution Festival and Parade, has a lot of LGBTQ artists like Billy Gilman, Lauren Sanderson, and Chris Houseman. And you can find all of that on their New Faces of Pride page on Instagram.
Somebody should make a documentary. I want to see behind the scenes.
Oh yeah.
Got 2 different
Yeah, competing
Battle
parades.
of the parades.
Da, 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 da,
Snaps
da, da.
and
My
claps.
parade's better than yours.
Should we have a musical?
It'll be much feistier than that, Eric.
West Side Story.
Okay, so by the way, if you were wondering why so many trees fell in this storm, they say the reason
Well, it's
is
because it was a storm with wind.
well, no,
I wasn't thinking,
because-
why did those fall? Because we had 113 mile an hour winds.
Because we didn't have all those trees fall during some of our other hurricanes. They say it was 2 back-to-back drought summers that set the stage for Houston area's massive tree loss.
But we
They
even
say
had
2
wasn't a
summers
hurricane, it was a
and a
15-minute
freeze
blip.
weakened the roots, and that's why so many trees fell.
But the
Ah,
hurricanes
the
we
weekend.
had, though, like, it was the Ike one. That was the last one where the power went out, where you were stuck for 3 weeks with no power.
Yeah.
The other hurricanes, like Harvey, wasn't the wind.
It wasn't a hurricane,
That
it was a
all
flood event for us.
Water.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we haven't had a storm like that, and that was a 15-minute surprise.
Say 2
that
years,
destroyed
I'm like,
everything.
I don't think we really had one that.
Well, we did have 2 summers
blowing wind.
with droughts, and they say, I mean, that's what the scientists are saying. They're saying, look,
Remember Memorial
soil-
Park? How?
Oh my God! All of Memorial Park is totally different to me now. The Memorial Park that I walked in my 20s does not exist anymore because that big drought took all those trees out and all the.
And now it's redone because it's got the golf course that's the PGA plays.
and the tunnels.
Have you
now
walked
and-
over the tunnel?
No, I've just been underneath it.
By the way, somebody texted us, and I don't know if this is official from Center Point. Well, actually, they texted us a tweet, an X. 27,000 Houstonians are still in the dark a week after that storm.
Yeah.
And Center Point says they are isolated cases after the Wednesday deadline of getting everybody back on. So if you still don't have power, you absolutely need to dive deeper on why you don't have power. Let them know. Like, make some noise and say, this is my house address. I don't have power yet.
713-207-2222. How do I know that? Because I had to call it all the time for the last 7 days.
And Kevin finally got his power yesterday. Yay! So 713-207-2222. Sorry you're still out of power. If you missed what happened on Roses today, wow, it got really, there was some deep pain there for Pamela.
That was heavy.
I'm just going to give you a downer warning because this was not good. Pamela and Chris and the ex. What happened? Find out next on The Roula and Ryan Show.